Hello, 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 beautiful people. How are you today? Today is another podcast session with another beautiful guest. Her name is Leanne Shelton, and she's based in Sydney. And she is a copywriter. Now, I know that a lot of my audience is actually entrepreneurs. All right. So I just want to invite Leanne to give you some sort of like tips when you need to add something into your business, because in business we have to do everything nowadays, but we'll discuss a little bit about digital presence, everything moving online, like too many things to do, what to do, all very, very confusing. But Leanne is here, we're in safe hands, so yay.
Yay!
Leanne started Right Time Marketing, which is her business name, in 2014. Since then, she enjoyed producing business blogs, website copy, media releases, marketing brochures, and sales emails for her clients. So her background is in marketing and sales, and it becomes a great asset for her strong writing abilities. It means that providing a holistic approach to her clients' content marketing strategy and branding. As we know, branding is very, very important, especially for us entrepreneurs. Now, these days, she spends her time running marketing webinars, online courses, and workshops, providing one-on-one marketing consulting, and writing stuff for clients as well. And outside the office, she enjoys dancing, reading, listening to inspiring podcasts. Oh, I think I need to start listening to podcasts now, because everybody just, raving about various different podcasts that I've never listened to, and spending time with her husband, quality time with her husband, Justin, and two young daughters. So welcome, Leanne.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. I'm really excited to be here.
Yay, awesome. So Leanne, can I ask you, the first question is, what is your why? Why do you do what you do?
Great question. Okay, so in regards to my business, I guess like many parents, mums like in particular, I ultimately started it because I wanted flexibility around my young family.
Yeah.
The full-time thing, I just didn't want to go down that path after maternity leave, and part-time was only going to work for a limited amount of time, especially when full-time work was crammed into part-time hours, which is a story many of us have experienced, I believe. So that was ultimately why I wanted to have a business, and what I was going to do came down to, well, I knew I wanted to do writing, because that's always been a big part of who I am. It's always just made perfect sense to me. Grammar, spelling, editing. Some people hate that stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to use my strength in writing to help fellow business owners achieve their goals.
Yeah.
Because I know personally firsthand that it's very easy to get overwhelmed as a business owner.
Mhm.
So I like to take that stress away by writing engaging copy. And especially if it's not someone's strong suit and they want to focus on what they're actually good at in their business. And then over the last few years or so, especially in recent months,
Mhm.
I've discovered a love for training. And I guess it comes down to my dad is a retired school teacher, and he told all of us, my brother, sister, and I, don't become teachers. There's too many issues in this, in the education system. But I guess it's kind of been ingrained in me, and so I've been moving into training and educating, and I just kind of forgot how much marketing knowledge I have stored in my brain.
Mm.
Uh, I'm not very good at maintaining facts and figures and stats and things, but anything marketing I've read about or heard on a podcast, I just absorb it and it just stays.
Mm.
So I love helping people. So not just in the writing, but also understanding how they can promote themselves
Yep.
and their businesses, as much as possible. Just because I know how powerful that can be. And like I'm very a driven person, and I want to live the best possible life. So I love to see other people do the same. And I guess what comes into that as well is my positivity. I call myself a positive thinker. I always think positive as much as I can. And, you know, it gives me such satisfaction to empower others with that positivity, because I can't help feeling frustrated when I see people with so much potential just living mediocre lives and only just having a side hustle in their business when they could do so much more if they wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about timing sometimes, and about limiting mindset as well. Sometimes the mindset is the block, and sometimes also time is not quite right.
Yes, and it is. And look, yeah, mindset is a massive thing, because you can set goals, but if you don't actually have the right mindset and confidence, and I think confidence is a big thing that so many people are lacking when it comes to business, because so many of us are just finding our own way. There's no real rules to it, which I discovered when I started, thinking everyone had this thing sorted out. So you just kind of, yeah, experiment, challenge yourself, step outside your comfort zone, and just see what's possible.
Awesome.
Yeah. And how about you? What's your why?
Well, I came from Indonesia, and being the only child from a very religious family, I had a lot of pressures onto myself, like to be, high achiever. And unfortunately, in our religion and our culture, the part of shame and guilt is kind of like very ingrained in our blood. And it's very damaging to, someone's upbringing, anyone's upbringing. So yeah, I guess I would like to help people in similar sort of situation. And then when I moved over here to Australia, I married my first husband. 10 years of abusive relationship. It wasn't fun. It was very painful, but the silver lining was I found my passion and my path, I guess, to become a relationship coach. I went back to college studying counseling, life coaching, and straight away I knew that I would be a coach and my niche would be in relationship. So then I can help and support the journey of people that may experience similar sort of stuff that I was going through. And yes, now I do workshops, I do one-on-one coaching, and also on the pipeline is a retreat for broken-hearted singles. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
That sounds really cool. I'm
Yeah.
just going to say the word retreat and you've got me.
Oh,
Look,
yeah.
I'm happily married though, so it won't be the right target market,
Yeah.
but
That's okay. But everyone's stressed, right? In 2020, especially. So it's my intention to just take maybe 5 people, broken-hearted New South Wales people in New South Wales, country New South Wales, playing it safe because of COVID. Who knows? Second wave, third wave, who knows? But people are craving to get out. Just this cabin fever. We're social being. We don't like to be isolated from each other. Yes. And if you can, heal, you can relax, you can learn about yourself, love yourself more, end up feeling confident, attracting new partner, not repeating the same mistakes that you made in the past, hey, the better.
I love that. And I do love how your personal journey's kind of developed into where you are now in business. Like, that's beautiful.
Yes. Thank you for that. Now, I would like to know your 3 juicy tips in increasing your digital presence, because as I mentioned before, with COVID, everything moved, virtually or online. And, how do we live in this digital world?
Yes, well, it's a big thing actually. And I was meant to be running a workshop initially on networking for beginners, right?
Yeah.
And when all this stuff happened, I moved my workshops online to become webinars. And I turned that into a virtual networking for beginners. And ultimately, yeah, it's all about building your digital presence online and connecting with others online when you can't physically go to those networking events. And you and I both love those networking events.
Yes.
And now we're starting to go to them again, which is awesome. But yeah, so ultimately, okay, so 3 tips. First one is about your website.
Mm.
And that's where you should really start with your whole, like, you've got to get your website right before you go anywhere else. So make sure your website reflects your target market's pain points,
Mm-hmm.
and then tie in your products and solutions, services as solutions. So what I mean by that is, it's very easy to get into your own head and describe your services and products and how wonderful they are.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to give your, like, the readers, whoever stumbled across your website, a reason why they should buy it. They need to see the value in it. And usually that comes down to pinpointing their pain points, really getting an understanding of where their head is at, what keeps them up at night, what are they struggling with. It could be, the relationship side, it could be the money side, it could be, those typical things we stress about. And if you pinpoint them in the copy, so I like to do hypothetical questions, like, have you ever felt, or do you notice that, or those kind of things, and get people nodding their heads as they read it. And then once you've kind of, it's a PAS formula, pain and agitate, kind of go into that a little bit more, paint that picture of, how they're feeling right now. And then you give the S, the solution of how you can solve that. And that's really important to think about, because just putting yourself in your target market's shoes can really just take you outside of your own head. So that's the first tip. The second tip I have is to show up regularly on social media, including Facebook Lives and video. And you probably have heard this before, but there's algorithms involved with all the different platforms, and ultimately, to increase your visibility, you have to be visible. You have to be showing up. And so some people ask me how often. Some experts say, post, twice a day is a minimum type of thing. I feel that's a little bit extreme, especially if it's just you in your business and you don't have a whole team posting for you. But I reckon a few times a week is great, and you mix up the types of things you say. So tips, like offering advice and expertise, a little bit of a freebie, and then you have some call to action saying, want to know more, contact me today. Or they can be storytelling, so a bit about you, something that you just experienced, an opinion you have, a book you've just read, something like that. Also, you can do the occasional promotional post, of course, if you've got an upcoming workshop or something, and just I'll just ask questions and really encourage engagement, and that can be done by text posts and videos. And I challenge you to show up in video, because that really helps you connect with your audience, because they get to see your face, the human behind the business. And it's just so powerful for, bringing them along on your journey. So just get over yourself, just press record and do it. It's scary, it gets easier, and don't watch yourself back. Just don't do that. Even I've done so many of them, I still can't watch
Otherwise your inner critics start criticism.
Yes, and then just like, I say a lot, or I have to do that again. And then it actually sounds more authentic if you have those mistakes and and noises and whatever. So just do it. And the third point I wanted to bring up is pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, which I mentioned a little bit before. So don't be afraid to try something new. And I think a lot of us have been doing that lately. We're kind of forced to, that, set up a free webinar, which is, that little bit of advice for 1 hour, you give out lots of value, and it's like, you get some more people on board, connecting with you and seeing what value you offer, and then potentially buying from you. Or start a podcast, or be a guest on one like today. And I have a podcast episode about starting a podcast. There's a lot of steps involved, but once you've nutted that out, it's just amazing satisfaction when you have a podcast out in the world, and the authority that you present by having a podcast, because not everyone has one, is just brilliant. Or just be a guest and showcase your expertise to a new audience.
Yeah, and it's
And
fun, right? It's fun. I
it's
love it.
I love it. I get to, it's been great, socially and from a training point of view, because I'm learning from everyone who comes on, and
Yes.
it's ultimately free training. Um, well, like I'm obviously investing in my time,
Yes.
but I'm just learning amazing stuff, and I take a lot of notes, and it's just helping me absorb more knowledge that I can then, offload to other people in my training. So it's really cool.
Valuable time. Awesome.
Yeah, and I think just one other thing about that is just guest blogging as well. So once again, you offload your advice to a new audience, similar audience to yours, on a different platform, and
Or
yeah,
writing style.
and just write in conversational, be yourself, and just find different ways for people to connect with you, because that's how you build your presence, build awareness, and ultimately build leads and sales to your want.
Awesome. Yes, we all love sales. Oh, thank you for sharing those.
You're welcome. And I believe you have a few tips on relationship stuff.
Absolutely. So someone asked me, actually on my Facebook Live on Tuesday. So if you want to watch my Facebook Live on Tuesday, 7 p.m., I'll show up every Tuesday. So her question was around tiredness and sex. All right. So
That comes up a lot.
oh, yay. Love it. Thanks for the juicy question, people. Tiredness after work and messiness at home can easily be the block to intimacy. Who can relate to that? I can. So check in regularly. If you're feeling frustrated due to the lack of sex, perhaps you can schedule it once a week or once a fortnight, during or after date night or date day. Yep. I know that you may feel like, oh my God, like, are we turning into robots? Like, we have to schedule in love making? But, like, who cares? Rather than not getting any, isn't it better if we get some? Especially if it's regular, just make an appointment for it. You make an appointment to see the dentist, make an appointment to see your partner.
It's not like a root canal though, but or tooth extraction, or maybe not. Maybe put in the same appointment for the massage. And maybe if your partner gives really good massages, it's probably the same thing.
Well, you got me there. So make sure that the frustration of lack of sex, because it can provide you with the great stress relief. So remember of the benefit, definitely great stress relief, doesn't become a resentment, and both parties' sexual needs are satisfied. That's tip number one. Tip number two is to agree to adopt a particular mindset in the midst of tough times, such as COVID lockdown. So just pretend that you're an oak tree, standing strong, facing whatever storm that may come your way, right? So when there's storm coming, typically an oak tree go within and deepening the roots. So when you're feeling uprooted, you're actually okay because your roots are strong. Right? So focus on what needs to be done, but go with the flow as well. Say, for example, if there's flooding, the oak tree just stay there, just absorbing the water, as much as it can. For dry times later, go with the flow. So the energy is not a panic energy, but instead a more relaxed energy. And that's better to face these stormy times that we have. And number three is to agree to set a goal or goals as a couple by focusing on what's important and forget about everything else. It's just noise. Focus on what's important. So those are my 3 tips.
They're very good. And the scheduling thing, it's true. Sometimes you just have to. And then I think by scheduling though, it gets a bit of the mindset thing. You're prepared for it. And so all day you're like, I'm not going to push myself because I know I want to have that intimate time with my partner tonight.
Yeah.
Or then you don't feel bad saying no, because like, no, we already agreed tomorrow night. I'll be ready tomorrow night. I'll make sure I don't have a headache tomorrow night. Right?
Oh, yeah. The headache is another thing. All right, tiredness after work and messiness at home and headaches.
Yes.
So people, we come to the fun part. I mean, mind you, we've been having fun a lot already. Yeah, true and false statement. So I got these two statements from Leanne. One, I recently recorded an extremely inspiring podcast with my mentor, Ruby Lee, but then realized I had forgotten to press record. Number two, I recently deleted myself from my own paid membership platform. So people, which one is true? Which one is not true? Let me guess. I think number two may be correct. Is that correct?
Yes. Thankfully, I pressed record on that interview. But yeah, it was a bit silly. I decided I recently ran a 6-week online course, and I thought, well, I'll be doing everyone a disservice if I just leave them at the end of it. I want to have something to make them continue with. So I thought I'd set up a paid membership thing. But I always kind of like say yes. These ideas come to me. I'm like, yeah, I feel like I have to do it. I have no idea how. And I also had a friend of mine who's also a VA who said, oh, look, I've heard about this platform and it's new, like through AppSumo. It's, very cheap, 150, one fee. And she said that should probably fulfill your needs. Great. So I went into it and I was playing around with it and setting up the payment portal and all that stuff. And I set up a test payment. So $29 or whatever it was. Test it. Cool. It worked. The money appeared in my account. Great. It works. Yep. So I went back into it to then go, I don't want that money to be, moving around my accounts every month because it's, ongoing subscription based thing.
Yeah.
So I went in to delete that. And then I'm like, cool, that's sorted. I'll go back and make some more edits. Hopefully I can go live with this in the morning. And I went back in and I had to log in. Okay. I'm trying to log in and it's saying, I'm sorry, you do not have access or something. And I'm like, what? And I kept double checking the logins, triple checking. And I'm like, oh crap. I think instead of deleting the payment, I actually deleted myself. I deleted myself as admin for my own site that no one else has access to. And I just had to have a laugh. And because the platform's based in the UK, they have amazing customer service.
Yeah.
But this was at that 10 in the morning, 11 in the morning, and I knew they wouldn't get back to me minimum like 7 p.m. that night. And I just kind of put everything back because I couldn't finish off the other bits and pieces I wanted to do. Yeah. So I was extremely frustrated and I had to laugh and share with some people. I deleted myself from my own account. Yay. Because it's just one of the things with having a business, the mistakes you make.
Absolutely. I'm learning.
I'm learning, and I got back in and I still have like a $1 recurring payment happening, but I'm like, I'm scared to delete it. So I'm just deleting that. I don't care.
Yes, $1, I can withstand that. Yep, no worries.
Accounts, right? Or some business to join account or whatever it is. So it doesn't matter. I'm just leaving it. I'm scared. So crazy. And do you have a true and false statement I can guess?
Yeah. So number one, Ingrid treated an anniversary couple in a warehouse. Or number two, Ingrid treated an anniversary couple in a classroom. Now, you know that I'm a chief relaxation officer of my business as well. So I do massage.
They both seem pretty interesting. I want to say warehouse for some reason.
A warehouse? Yeah. You're incorrect. So simply, I had a booking. So it's a couple's massage. And then I went in and then found out, oh, when I opened the door, it looks like a classroom. And I said, oh, okay, kids, what are we learning today? And everyone just laughed. I said, English. And then during the massage, I had a look at the whiteboard. It's like, boy meets girl. I was like, okay. And then at the end of the massage, I said to the couple, I'm just curious, like, boy meets girl. And the rest is history. I continue that because the theme is like wedding anniversary. All right. But then the thing is, underneath boy meets girl, an old man meet with a nice old man meet young girl. And I thought, what the hell? Things just getting weirder and weirder. And, you know, the next sentence is getting even weirder. I can't even remember what it is, but, you know, like, there you go. It's the father of the husband classroom. I'm just wondering, what is he teaching? What kind of English is he teaching in the
Yeah,
classroom?
romance literature.
So I thought I had to bring it up with the clients, and they just laughed.
Very interesting. I thought you were
Yeah.
going to say the classroom thing, it was some sort of fantasy being lived out. I don't know.
No, it's not. It's a real classroom, but it's an interesting looking classroom, I have to say. Yeah, but
There you go.
yeah. So, last question. What do you do to either relax or add raunchiness into your relationship?
So for us, I guess it's maintaining those date nights. And my, you know, because we've got 2 young kids, and, you know, before kids, you just go, oh yeah, let's just go to Melbourne for the day. And we did. But you can't really do that when you've got 2 kids. And we're so thankful that we've got family in Sydney. And like my husband's parents are only like 15 minutes down the road, and mine are 50 minutes, so a little bit further, but with sleepovers, we can make it work. And so we've actually started, because initially when we started having date nights, we kind of didn't know what to do with ourselves. I remember the first one actually after our eldest was born, and we go out for dinner and then we eat, like, now what? And what do we talk about? Because like a new baby's our world. And then we just, all right, might as well pick her up. And it only been like an hour and a half. And it just like, I mean, we got better, and but still we'd go out for dinner and you're only there for so long. And especially, you know, in COVID times, there's usually a time limit how long you're there in the restaurant.
Yes.
And if, you know, if you're not going to the movies and the movies were closed for a while, what are you meant to do? And you can go back home, but then you'd kind of, I don't know, just not as, it won't be as special. So in recent months, we've actually been getting a hotel room, and we've picked different places in Sydney. And sometimes, yeah, we like pick somewhere closer to where my parents live. So then it wasn't so far, like for the pickup in the morning, and no one's driving backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
And it just, because you got that, because we only have a queen size bed at the moment, hoping to you know, upgrade to a king soon. You know, find a hotel room with a king size bed, you know, that I don't have to make the bed, and the place looks clean. I'm not distracted by the clutter. So can really just tune out and relax with my husband after dinner, and then chill out. And yeah, just, you know, we get some wine or whatever he wants to drink. He's going through a Canadian Club and Dry phase at the moment.
Yeah.
And yeah, and just have that special time overnight, sleep in the special, you know, luxurious bed,
Yeah.
and then eventually pick up the kids. Usually
Reality sets in.
yeah, it's just like, well, checkout's not till 10, so right at 10 we're leaving, and then we go get brunch somewhere, and then maybe get the kids by midday, you know. And so then it's not just a date night, it's a bit more of an experience, and that's really good.
Oh, beautiful. I love it, because, you know, people don't necessarily share raunchy stuff, you know, so I'm really happy that you chose to do that one. Awesome. Thank you so much. So people, thank you so much for listening to our collaboration and watching the video. If you can like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Ingrid Galloway, that'll be great. And next week we will have more awesome podcasts just like this one, connecting with like-minded business people, either global and local, so we can support each other and share tips to enrich your knowledge, or, you know, practical tips so you can create a better life, you know, better business. And if you want to connect with Leanne, how can people connect with you?
Yep, so they can look me up on LinkedIn, Leanne Shelton. I think I'm one of the main ones there, or early ones there. Also, so my website is write, as in write with a pen, timemarketing.com.au. And you're welcome to, tune into my podcast called Marketing and Me. And you can find that on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, and a few others.
Wonderful. So I'll give the link on the post when we post this one up. And if you need more help with your relationship, of course, you can connect with me. My website is www.kahyangan.com.au. That is KAHYANGAN. Kahyangan.com.au. And remember, you don't have to be on the brink of divorce to connect with a relationship coach, because I do believe that prevention is better than cure. So keep well, beautiful people. Thank you so much for watching, and lots of love. Thank you, Leanne.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.